please. Hi, good morning. It is Eva. Today's the day from hell to happiness. Hello and welcome. I'm super, super excited. I'm just having you, of course, there's always technical stuff that goes along with doing lives and doing all this kind of stuff. So just give me 1 second while I try to, bear with me. Thank you for being here. So before I get started and get right into this, I believe we are streaming live on Facebook. For some reason, I can't figure out how to stream this on YouTube, which kind of sucks because I really wanted it on YouTube, but we'll figure that out another time. Just to let you know, I am going first on the From Health to Happiness event. I have managed to gather 24 women this week that are sharing their stories of trauma and triumph. I'm super, super honored. I'm super excited to have them all here with me this week. These women have volunteered to come on here and share their stories of trauma. And some of them have some, pain is pain, right? So we like to go, my pain and my trauma wasn't as bad as her pain or your pain. We all hurt and grieve in different ways. So we have trauma on all different levels. And I feel that I carefully selected which ones which women I wanted to share stories. I had to actually turn down some women because healing is important. But I tried to find as many women as I could with trauma of all levels, so that it would speak to each and every one of the women or men that are watching this week. So that was a feat all in itself. So anyway, before I get started, I have a shiny object syndrome. Before I get started, I need to let you know, first and foremost, I am streaming this live from another platform, so I'm not able to see the comments. If you're here now, thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. I can't see your comments. I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for being here. If you want to click the share button, I would greatly appreciate that. I just have to hang on give me 1 second because we're still doing 1 second. There we go. I'm still playing with the lights there. I think that's better. Forgive me for that. So if you want to hit the share button, sharing is great. Sharing is caring. Also, if you have a story to share, a story of trauma that you want to share, you can go to this site, fromhelltohappiness.com, and on the top of the site, there's a share your story. Please click that. And you can email me and say, hey, Eva, this is a great thing. I'd love to be a part of it. And you can share your story of trauma and healing. And healing is mostly important. The main purpose, the sole purpose of this whole event is to share stories of trauma, but to also share stories of healing. It's the healing part that's most important to me and to the women and to the people that I'm sharing this with. So if you have a story, excuse me 1 second. If you have a story that you want to share, please head on over to the site from helltohappiness.com. Check it out. Click the share your story button and see if maybe, if you're a good fit for the whole event. And also, before we go on, there are a few women that have chosen to share their stories via a written story, a blog. So they're not coming on live. I think I have 5 women that have shared their stories via blog. So you can definitely go to, and they're scheduled throughout the week. So please do check in on the site, fromhelltohappiness.com. Please do go to the site and check it out. And you'll be able to see their stories and read their stories of trauma as well, because there's some pretty intense stories. They're all really intense stories. Can't hear any of it. Sorry. Oh, look, everybody's here. Did you hear any of it?
Barely.
Shit. Hi, shit. See, this is what, and it's, hang on. Oh, man. It's okay. Give me a second. Okay, we're good. There, see, Eva, see what happens? See what happens? I totally forgot my microphone. All right, so thanks, Dave. Dave's my tech guy that's here helping me this morning, make sure everything. So I hope you did turn up your volume. If you missed all of that, turn your volume up and you'll be able to hear a little bit louder everything that I just said. So sorry about that. See, I was so nervous. See, here this morning, I thought I was all calm and cool and I got this shit and I do lives all the time and I can do this, and I forgot my freaking microphone. This is just Eva being raw and real. So, let's get on. I can't see your comments. Hi and welcome. If you didn't hear any of that, I've got my microphone locked and loaded. We're good to go now. So you will be able to hear me from here on in. And I'm just going to leave my microphone right here for the next 5 days to make sure that I don't forget my microphone. I don't even know how I missed that. Let me just put that. There we go there. So I'm going to start off this whole thing with my story. The next story today is at 12 p.m. CST, my time. I am in Guatemala, so please check your time zone. The next story is at 12 today. And then I have three more girls sharing their stories this afternoon. And then we're going all week, every day this week with stories, live stories. So please check in. You can go to the site and check the stories and see when the ladies are going live. So I wasn't really sure what story of trauma that I wanted to share with you guys, because I've had quite a bit of a colorful life and I have quite a few stories of trauma. I feel that I've healed from all of my trauma. People, I think the biggest thing about trauma is people don't understand when you have suffered trauma, and if you haven't healed from it, seriously healed from it, that sticks with you for the rest of your life. And healing from trauma is extremely important. Now, part of healing from trauma is like, oh yeah, I forgive the person and I'm good. But forgiveness is just one step in healing from trauma. You still need to do all the deep, dirty work. I kind of call it dirty work because it's not easy and it's kind of hard to heal. So it's important to still do all that, do all the dirty work for healing from all your trauma is very important. So anyway, I wasn't sure which trauma I wanted to share with you. And I think I'm just going to go with the, when I left my abusive relationship eight years ago. I think it was 8 years ago. And then I crashed and I hit rock bottom. And I'm going to share that story with you. A little bit about the relationship that I did have. We're just going to call him Fred. I'm going to share a little bit of the relationship, just a little bit, because I don't really want to dig into that too much. Talk about hitting rock bottom, how that felt, because rock bottom is a really dirty, ugly, horrible place to be in. If anybody has hit rock bottom, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And then my climb out, because I want this to be more about the healing than the pain and all the suffering, right? So when I first met my ex, I was actually living in my parents' basement. I had just left a relationship with an alcoholic. I didn't even know how long I was single for. I had just left a relationship. I was living in my parents' basement with my son. My son was almost ready to go off to university. So he was 18, 19, and I met this guy on the dating site. He seemed, he checked off all the boxes. He had a good job, blah, blah, blah. We hooked up. Within the first 3 months, he had already lied to me, and I can see there was a little bit of alcoholism. I don't know. At that time, I'm not really sure if I knew he was an alcoholic, but I thought he kind of drank a little bit more than I'd like, but I stuck with him anyway because he was an out for me. I was living in my parents' basement and I just needed to get out, right? So truth be told, we hooked up. I moved in almost immediately.
And then for the next 8 years, my life was a living hell. I mean, I can't say the entire 8 years was a living hell. There was obviously some good points, but it was mostly bad. And I just stayed because I had nowhere else to go. And I couldn't, I was stuck. I felt like I was stuck in this relationship and I had nowhere else to go. Oh my God, I can't leave him. I have no money. What am I going to do? Blah, blah, blah. So almost 8 years. So it was Easter weekend. I don't even know what year it was. And we had this big fight and I didn't have any money. I didn't have really a job. I didn't really have anything. And I thought, you know what? I'm so done. I just can't do this anymore. I've got to leave this guy. I've got to move out because my mental health was like shattered. I was a zombie. I was just like a shell of a person. I had no self confidence. I had no self esteem. I had no money. I had no belongings. I had no job. I mean, I literally was nothing. I had nothing and I was nothing. And I thought, you know what? I just have to go. I have to go. So I just declared bankruptcy, actually, just declared bankruptcy, didn't have a job, didn't have any belongings. And I wrote him a Dear John letter and I said, you know what? Like I have to leave. We're done. This is over. I'm leaving. So at that moment, and I was scared to write that letter because I didn't know what my future held for me. I didn't have anything. I had, it was about, at that time, it was about, okay, you know what, Eva, if you're going to leave, you're going to have to make a bunch of phone calls and you're going to have to trust and you're going to have to call people to help you because you have nothing on your own right now. So I wrote the Dear John letter. I said, I'm leaving. I took the leap of faith and I left. And the universe, and it was kind of like, you could almost like hear the angels singing and the choir and all the trumpets blaring. And you could almost hear that. It was kind of funny. And they just kind of went, hallelujah, Eva, it's about fucking time you left. And have I got a surprise for you? So the universe just opened up the floodgates and people came out of the woodwork to help me. People that I hardly spoke to. Like I just put out a call on Facebook. I'm like, hey, I need everything. I need money for an apartment. I need things. I need furniture. I need stuff to put in my kitchen. Like I needed everything. And people just came to my aid. And I have this and I have kitchen stuff. And I had some girl, this is kind of funny. She had wedding gifts that she just regifted. She's like, I have all these wedding gifts. I don't need, you can have them, new things. And I had faith that, people just came and helped me. So there was also the point that I had hit rock bottom and I didn't have any money. So I had to find a job and I had to borrow a lot of money for a lot of different things. So my journey to rock bottom was like, once I got established, left my abusive relationship, had to spend a year, like I spent a solid year of self-discovery, healing, like ugly, painful, hurt, like it was excruciating healing many times. And I'll tell you, because we're being completely honest here, many times I thought, you know what, if I just swallow a bottle of pills, we're going to be done and everything's going to be okay. Because I don't want to do this anymore. This is hard and this is ugly and I don't know what my future holds to me. And I was 51 years old. I'm like, I'm fucking 51 years old and this is my life right now. Like this seriously is my life. I have nothing. Everything I own is borrowed and donated. I have to pay all these people back. I don't have a job. I need to find a job. I mean, my life at 51 years old was a complete train wreck. I was a complete mess. And I just thought, I'll just go to sleep permanently. And that was actually like in the top 5. I'm telling you, the top 5 things of how am I going to get through this? That was in the top 5. And the only thing that saved me was the fact that I have a son. So my son doesn't even know that he saved my life, but that was the only thing that kept me going. It's like, Eva, you're being selfish. You're being stupid. You're being ridiculous. You can get through this. Like, come on, let's go. So I made it through. So my healing journey, I just want to talk a little bit now about my healing journey. So my healing journey was frustrating and ugly and messy, right? I didn't have any money for, online therapy because I didn't have any money for a therapist. I didn't have any money for anything like that. I could barely pay rent and buy food as it was. So I started listening to YouTube videos, watching YouTube, Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols, like all the motivational gurus you can think of. I was listening to them, and I was listening to them morning, noon, and night. That's all I listened to. Les Brown, Lisa Nichols, Tony Robbins, Les Brown. Like it was just constant over and over. I had Post-it notes all over my apartment, on my coffee maker, on my bathroom mirror. And, it's one thing to just stick a Post-it note on a wall and pass by and read it, go, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, yeah. But when you are using Post-it notes, like, you need to read that message and you need to feel the message that's on your Post-it notes. You need to really feel that. So I had messages on Post-it notes, kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom, you name it, they're all over the place. And it was like, Eva, you can do this. And I'd be like, yeah, Eva, you can do this. Eva, you fucking got this. Eva, like, smarten up, Eva, like, you are bigger and you are better. And so, I mean, I read those Post-it notes and I felt every word, every single word. So my healing journey, it probably took a year of, just keep going. It was like that little train that I think I can. And yeah, it was like, okay, I think I can heal from this. And it wasn't just healing from rock bottom and being in a really shitty place in my life. It was healing from a lifetime of trauma, because I was 51 years old. And I thought, at that point, you know what? My life sucks so bad. It can't go on like this. I need to stop all of these triggers, this trauma, everything that I'm going through, all this shit that I've gone through. I need to stop and nip it all in the butt so that I can move ahead for the next 50 years in a life without trauma, without triggers, and life of happiness and a joy and peace, and like mostly inner peace, and not feeling anger and hate and misery, because those were all the emotions I was feeling. Anger, hate. I fucking hate my life. I'm miserable. All this trauma. So my healing journey included healing from every trauma I had, right up from like starting like when I was 10 years old, the first time my mom beat me. So it started there, healing from there all the way to 51 years old. So I had a lifetime of trauma that I needed to heal. And I knew it was time. It was just time to do it. So I spent a year doing that, and it was hard. It was very hard, because when you're healing from trauma and when you're healing from all the toxic things in your life, you realize that you need to dump some of the toxic things in your life. And some of the toxic things in your life that you're dumping, some of them are actually people that are in your life that you need to get rid of too, because they're just as toxic as some of the events that you've had in your life. So healing was dumping toxic people. Healing was journaling, listening to Les Brown, totally retraining my brain to not think that I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, because I had a lot of that. I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm a good for nothing, I'm a disappointment to the family, I'll never amount to anything. So I had to rewrite the script that was going on in my brain, which is hard to do when you've spent a lifetime feeling that you're not good enough, you're dumb, you're a loser, you're a failure. Because I also had a business. I had to close my business. I had a salon. This is where my second bankruptcy came from. I had a salon. I had to close my salon and close my business. Declared bankruptcy. What a failure Eva is. Look at her. She had a business and she had to close it. She's a failure. So when you're rewriting the script, it's hard to believe the new script that you're writing. It's hard to believe the new story that you're writing, because you haven't lived it. You have to put yourself in that story. You have to believe, yes, I am good enough. Yes, I can do great things. Yes, I am smart enough. So that was part of my healing journey, was totally retraining my brain to building my self-confidence, boosting my self-esteem, loving myself again. Oh my God, I didn't love any part of me, maybe except for my hair. I didn't love any of me. I was a loser and I was a complete train wreck. So my healing journey took a lot of different forms. Retraining my brain, listening to Les Brown and Lisa Nichols, listening to people tell me that I am good enough. And journaling is huge. because you write and you write. For me, journaling is very healing, and for a lot of people, and I do encourage people to at least try journaling, because journaling can be very therapeutic and very healing. And part of my journaling was writing forgiveness letters to all the people that hurt me, and writing myself a love letter to remind myself that yes, I am good enough. I am worthy. I am a beautiful gift from God. I am, it was doing all that. So that's where journaling comes in. And I really do encourage people to just, pick up the pen and just try to write, and, whatever comes out, comes out. And when somebody once told me about automatic writing, and automatic writing is literally just, and it sounds really tricky, but it's literally just letting the pen do its job and just writing. And it's kind of intuitive, where these are the things that you're feeling, and they just pour out on the paper through the ink. So journaling is very important. I also started meditating, and meditation isn't anything that I ever really, it's not that I've never done it before. I didn't know how to meditate. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought meditating was just sitting with your legs crossed going for 30 minutes. And that's not what meditating is at all. Meditating is literally just quieting your mind and just letting thoughts come and go, and just seeing them, but seeing them leave. You have to, because you're going to, most of our trauma, our triggers, and our healing is negative thoughts, right? All still those negative limiting beliefs. So you see them come in, and you just have to escort them out. I see you, I recognize you, and I'm escorting you out. It's time for you to leave. So healing was journaling, healing was meditating, healing was listening to motivational speakers. My healing took a lot of different, there's a lot of different modalities in my healing. But part of my healing was also because I had spent a year feeling sorry for myself. I'm a loser. Oh my God, I hate my life. I can't believe I'm 51 years old. Where am I going to go from here? This is too hard. I can't do this. This is too much. I just want to tap out. So I whined and complained a lot. I did. It was pathetic. I don't even know how I have friends. It was pathetic listening to myself whine and complain. So what I did, and I really, really encourage people to do this, what I did was that I started volunteering at a homeless shelter. Now, I'm not saying go volunteer at a homeless shelter, but think about volunteering at an organization or charity or something that calls to your heart. So I decided to go volunteer at a homeless shelter, and the homeless people have always had a little piece of my heart. I don't know why, they just always have. So I called up the homeless shelter in Sudbury. I said, hey, I think I want to volunteer. What do I got to do? So I went in, filled out an application. They put me on the list the next day. And I was kind of excited and kind of nervous, but I really just needed to get out of my own head. I needed to stop whining and listening to my own pathetic story, and stop just whining and complaining and being miserable all the time. And I needed a distraction. So literally, this is the honest to God truth. I went to the homeless shelter just as a distraction, twofold. It was a distraction to stop whining and complaining, and because I wanted to do that too, right? So what happened at the homeless shelter completely blew my mind. And I totally, totally didn't expect what happened next. So I went to feed dinner to 200 homeless people, drug addicts, alcoholics, meth heads, whatever they were. They're all homeless. And I fed dinner. It was one Saturday night, my first Saturday night, and my heart exploded. I was like, oh my God, I love these people. And when I connected with them, not all of them, obviously, when I connected with them, I was like, wow, here I am complaining about, oh my God, I'm 51 and I had to start over, and I had to go back to my old job and put my tail between my legs, and I had to borrow money, and I had to borrow this. So I have an apartment and I have things. Here I am whining and complaining about my ridiculous life and all the things I was going through. And here I am in a room with 200 people that don't have anything. They don't even have a home. And I was just like, wow, wake up, girl. It was a huge wake up call for me. And my heart exploded. And I realized that I'm not so bad off after all. And yeah, I do have this. I got this. My life isn't that bad. My life actually is pretty freaking good because I do have a job. I do have an apartment. I do have people that love me. I do have a home. I have food. I have a bed. I have socks. I have clean underwear. I have all of that stuff. My life's not that bad. And I stayed at the homeless shelter. And within, I want to say 6 months, but probably within a year, I was there almost every day, became the team captain. Like these people were like my friends. Like I loved every minute of the homeless shelter. And the homeless shelter was a huge, huge part of my healing journey because that's where I realized that my life's not so bad. And I'm also here to serve. My life isn't all about me. It's not about all about me and what I can do and what I can have and what I can get and how much money I can make. It was about helping people, serving people who don't have any of that. I realized at that point right there, like my life purpose, I think at that point there, my life purpose just fell into my lap and God just kind of, you know what, Eve, I got a job for you. Can you do this? Can you do this for me? And I just kind of, yeah, I totally can do this for you. And that volunteering was also part of my healing journey. So as ugly, so I want to just stop there because I think I've talked enough about my healing. And I want to just stop there and talk a little bit more about rock bottom, being there and having no hope in sight. Because when you're sitting in that dark, rock bottom is a very, very ugly, lonely, dark place. And you basically just want to curl up in a ball for the rest of your entire days. Like you just want to stay in this ball, sob hysterically, and wait for the world to end. And that's what rock bottom feels like. And I felt like that many, sorry. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to do that. So I felt like that many, many days. And that's what rock bottom feels like. So if you're there, I know exactly what that feels like. But I just want, oh, I'm so sorry. I just want people to know if anybody is there right now in that horrible, dark, ugly place, that you can get out there. You can do the hard things. You can crawl out. It can be a long, ugly climb. It can be a really hard climb out of rock bottom because rock bottom is a ridiculously lonely, ugly place. So you will feel like you're alone. I'm so sorry. You will feel like you're alone. You will feel like you want the world to end. You want it to all stop and you want it to all go away. But I don't want you to do that. I want you to just hang on. I want you to just hang on because you got this. You're going to be okay. Like you're so going to be okay. Sorry. You're going to be okay. So, go to YouTube and start listening to motivational people. Take some time and cry, curl up in a ball. If you need to drink tequila, if you need to smoke weed, do all of that stuff. But remember, they're just band-aids, right? Because I did all that. I'm not going to lie. I did all that. But they're just band-aids. So there comes a point where you're going to have to take that band-aid off and you're going to have to actually look at your wound and start going, okay, here's my wound and what do I got to do to fix it and heal it and make it go away, make it go away. So listen to YouTube YouTube motivational speakers. You can, sorry. Just give me a second while I have a little drink of water. Just give me a second. A lot of people, and including myself, a lot of self-help gurus on the internet do have free PDFs you can download that'll help you to, get started. I'm If you go over to fromhelltohappiness.com and click on my profile, you will see all my links in there, links to my ebooks, my self-help ebooks, my 21-day challenge, life-changing course. Like I have all kinds of things in there, tools to help you. I want you to find tools, and you don't have to spend a fortune on healing, because healing can be expensive. But I'm just letting you know that everything that I did on my healing journey, I found free things because I had no money and I had to heal on my own. And I found free things, and I just found the strength deep down inside, which is really, really hard to do. And I know it's hard to do. I get that if you're there. I totally get that, to find the strength to go, no, I got this. I can do this. I'm going to make it through. It's hard to find the strength, but I need you to do that. Like I need you to find the strength to go, yeah, I got this. I need you to find the strength to go, yeah, I got this. Rock bottom isn't going to suck me in and keep me here. I'm going to get out of rock bottom, and I'm going to get through this. And then, your story is going to be somebody else's survival guide, right? Like it will be. I need you to just focus and go, no, I'm going to be okay. I'm in a dark place right now. It's lonely, ugly, and messy, but I'm going to get through this. So I need you to find the strength somewhere and go, I'm going to be okay. Oh, okay. That even needs to stop. That's my story. That's my healing. And so when we're healing from trauma and we're healing from all the triggers, I'm not saying that once you're healed, your life is perfect. And then you're like, all right, I got this. Everything's good in my life. I feel amazing. Traumas still come up for me every now and then. Traumas from everything still come up for me every now and again. And you just have to, oh, sweet baby Jesus, you need to look at the trauma, accept it, and then just go, okay, I see you, I feel you, and I'm healing from you, and just let it go. I'm going to have to wrap this up because my gardener I didn't even know I had a lawnmower, but we're done. I hope this story gave you a little bit of inspiration. Please share it. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you all for being here. And please also, my next girl comes on, 12 o'clock CST, so 12 o'clock my time. So please be back here. Amazing Me Movement, my Facebook page, to listen to Amber's story about emotional trauma. I love you guys. And that's all I got for you. Bye for now.